Hi, my name is Derek Sadie. I'm a solutions engineer at Blackboard in our business development group, and I do a lot of work with our content partners as well as other kinds of partners. And the focus today here is I just want to show an example of our Partner Cloud tool. And so real briefly, Partner Cloud serves as a nice central integration point. So a lot of our publishers and other content providers can connect to Partner Cloud, and then all of our Blackboard Learn clients will be able to take advantage of those partners within the Partner Cloud and not have to set up things specifically or install different building blocks. Configuration is much easier, and then those partners are made available to instructors directly within content areas of their courses. And there's a nice standard workflow, and it's very easy to import and use dynamic content that's living out on our content provider sites. So I want to show an example of a couple different Blackboard courses. I'm going to walk through the instructor perspective, and then I'm going to show what a student perspective looks like. In this particular example, I'm going to show what an example Macmillan integration looks like with their LaunchPad product, but this is just one example of Partner Cloud. There are many others. Each partner leverages Partner Cloud in their own special way, and in this example, I'm just going to show a Macmillan course. So here I am as an instructor. I'm logged into my demo server here, and I'm in a sample course, and you can see this course already has some content in it. And normally I would use the menus here within the content area to build new content. You can add items, add files, just like you would always build into Blackboard. And I might go navigate into one of these folders and decide that at this level, in addition to the things I already have in here, I might like to also add in something that happens to live somewhere else. And so in this particular course, I'm not going to go all the way through it. I'm going to show you what that might look like, and then we're going to go to a course where it's done. So just like I would choose add item or add file, right here within the workflow, something I'm very used to, these menus always follow me throughout all of my content areas, I can go into the partner content menu and choose commercial content. Because I've not yet associated any partners with this particular course, it tells me that right here. It tells me you have not associated your course to any partner yet. The area down below is what we call the commercial content carousel, and this here is actually the way Partner Cloud looks to instructors. And we keep adding new partners to this area, and when new partners come on board in Partner Cloud, thanks to how it's automatically configured, they can just show up here, be made available to instructors. When an instructor clicks one of these partners within Partner Cloud, they get some information. All of this is provided by the partner. Once they click on that partner's logo, they are taken to that partner's initial sign-on process. And it does differ for each partner. Some partners need a full faculty credentialing, and they need to provide username and password as well as a course pairing, and there needs to be some kind of authentication or vetting. And then the other end of the spectrum, we have a lot of partners that might be institutionally licensed, where no questions are asked. Once an instructor clicks the logo, they're taken to that partner's content, but they don't have to do any initial single sign-on, any kind of setup. That is, again, dependent on the partner, and actually happens on the partner site. So in this course, if I wanted to pair it to Macmillan or get started and use some Macmillan content, I would click on the Macmillan logo, and I would be taken to a screen like this. And I'm flashing over this screen very quickly because it requires Macmillan credentials and faculty sign-on. I've already done that piece to save some time. But you can see here, I can then pick which one of my Macmillan courses that I want to associate my Blackboard course to. And by doing that association, I can then choose which links of which content I want in that course to show up within Blackboard. And so I'm not going to do that to this course, but this is where I can see the courses that I have available to me, and notice I'm on the Macmillan platform doing this. Let's go to a course where this has already been done. So I'm on the same server, but I'm in a slightly different course, and this is a biology course. And you can see I already have a lot of content in here. I'm going to go into this Unit 2 folder, and you can see I have some items in here, a slide share presentation, I think a YouTube video or a Flickr photo. And from here I want to decide that I'm going to put my Unit 2 quiz. And I happen to be using Macmillan's LaunchPad product, and I have a lot of content in there, and I've already set some quizzes up. What I want to be able to do is have my students, right from within their Blackboard course, take this quiz, but not have to go separately to Macmillan's LaunchPad platform and remember a different URL and remember a username and password. And also, when they take the quiz, I want it to look like it's in Blackboard, behave though in LaunchPad, but I want the grade and the student to be able to come back. So when the student takes the quiz, they can navigate back to their Blackboard course, continue on with any content I have in here, but know that their grades will be in the Blackboard Grade Center of this course. What's nice as an instructor, I don't have to do anything to make that happen other than place the item in the course. So I'm going to go ahead to my partner content menu and go to commercial content. And from here, you would notice that I've already got an associated partner. Macmillan is showing up, and that's because I completed this initial single sign-on process in the course that I'm currently in. And from here now I have a shortcut. So when I click this, I'm not asked any more questions. I've already signed on, that is remembered. But then what I can do is actually figure out which links to which pieces of content I'd like to place in this course. And what you're seeing here is content that looks and feels like it's actually in the Blackboard course. Where this is actually coming from is the LaunchPad platform. And if I want to see it in its entirety, I can click Browse Content, and I will be taken over to the LaunchPad site, and here is where all of this content actually lives. The great part is all of our partners do this a little bit differently, but we're able to display the content so it's selectable in Blackboard and still leave in place the way the partner's content actually works. So you can see I have a lot of things in here. Chapter 1, Case 1, Chapter 2. I also have a unit quizzes and unit test area. These are items here in this platform here in LaunchPad. That's what's actually showing up here. This is a dynamic list, and it renders in real time of whatever content I have living in my Macmillan platform that is associated to this course. What's great is that it also knows if items are gradable or not. So for example, if I wanted to put a reading from Chapter 2, I can expand out, and I might decide to put a link at the Chapter 2 top level, or I could do to a particular area in Chapter 2. So let's say I want to link my students directly to the 2.1 reading on the properties of atoms, for example. I can also decide to link to specifically this Unit 2 quiz. And you'll notice that the Unit 2 quiz has a little icon here that indicates that it's gradable. This one does not because it doesn't have a score associated. The integration is smart enough to know that if an item on the Macmillan side or on the partner side happens to be one the students take and a score is generated, by me putting a link in this course, I will also get a grade setter column for the Unit 2 quiz. So I'm going to go ahead and click Submit, and here I'm going to get a summary screen. And it's going to show me that I've opted to add in these two items. It inherits the categories and any points possible, if relevant, from the Macmillan platform. And it's going to drop it off in the area that I started this from, which in this case is the Unit 2 folder. I could relocate this anywhere in the course on the fly. So I could decide, oh, you know what, I don't want it in this folder. I want to stick it somewhere else in this course. And I can list it somewhere else, but I'm going to leave it be. I can opt to change categories on the fly if I want. I'm going to leave those alone, and I'm going to hit Submit. What will happen here is that these two items now show up in my Blackboard course, and they show up just like any other Blackboard item right down here at the bottom. So I can rearrange them. I can decide I want to maybe put the Unit 2 quiz up here at the top. What's great about these is once they've been added in the course, the icon, the name, the description, those are all inherited automatically. But I can also go in and just like I could on this item, configure things like adaptive release, alignments, review status, and so on. I get those very same things on these Partner Cloud items as well. And that lets me treat these items as if they were Blackboard items, but when it's clicked by the student, they will actually consume the content in the partner site where it lives. Let's take a look at what's happened in this course now. If I go into my full grade center in this course, you can notice that in addition to whatever else I had already living in the grade center, I now have a Unit 2 quiz column. I didn't add that, the integration added that because that was a scoreable item. So this is a very powerful way to allow instructors to decide to pull in gradable content into their Blackboard course, but not have to copy and synchronize content or copy and synchronize grades. And when the link is clicked, it's a deep contextual handoff to the partner. So that very first time, there might be a single sign-on, or if it's a student, it's an access code, but then they actually get to take it. Let's take a look at what it looks like from the student perspective. So I'm going to switch to a different browser here where I'm already logged in as a student, and I'm going to go into that same course. From here, when I go into the course, let's go ahead and as a student now, take that Unit 2 quiz. So I'm going to go into the Unit 2 folder, there's the Unit 2 quiz, and I'm going to click it. Now in this case, this student has not yet done anything first time. They've never used a Macmillan asset in this course, and Macmillan knows that, so it's walking the student through their initial single sign-on association process. It's very quick, it's pretty easy. And again, this differs for each partner, but this is Macmillan's process. So I'm going to agree to the legal terms as a student, and then inherit certain things from the Blackboard interface. It does the first name and last name, and it does the email address as well. So what I can do is just confirm some of this information here. I will register. This is going to create me an account on Macmillan's site, and it's also going to then associate me with this course. From here, if I were an actual student, I might enter an access code I bought at the bookstore or purchase access right through here with a credit card. In this case, I'm a pretend demo student, so I'm going to request temporary access. And then I can continue on to the site. That's it. It takes under 2 minutes for that student to do that initial process. And then what will happen is I will go right back to my quiz. Now, what if I don't want to take the quiz right now? I can go back to Blackboard, and it's going to send me, the student user, directly back to Blackboard, but directly to the area of the course where I started. And there I am again. So I can now jump easily between the two platforms. Let's actually take the quiz this time. So when I click the Unit 2 quiz this time, I'm not asked any more questions about who I am. That's saved thanks to our single sign-on through Partner Cloud, and I am dropped off at the quiz. So I'm going to go ahead and start the quiz. I made these quizzes pretty simple, so they'll only take a couple of minutes. So once I get into the quiz, I will answer. So let's see, the atom, we'll go ahead and pick this here, and I will do that here. So I'm going to submit this. It's going to automatically score it on the Macmillan platform. It'll tell me my score. Let's see how I did. I did very poorly, so I got a 0 here. But I can now close this, or I can go back to Blackboard. And by going back to Blackboard, here I am again, but if I were to look at the grades, instantly and automatically that grade for that quiz is updated in my course. And there it is in the Unit 2 quiz. Same thing happens, because it's the grade center for this quiz, for the instructor. So if we were to look at the instructor grade center, I'm just going to go into it again, and you can see now that my student has a 0 there for their Unit 2 quiz. So here's an example of being able to pull in link to graded content, in this case using the Macmillan platform, but it's a great demonstration of how Partner Cloud can enable instructors to pull in content that lives somewhere else, but have it dynamically work within the course. And thanks to our single sign-on and deep linking, it's a very seamless workflow. I hope this was a helpful demonstration of how Partner Cloud works, and using Macmillan as an example. Thank you.